It's a Scotch Test Dummies coming to you on Whiskey Wednesday.
AKA Whiskey Tasting Fellas.
WTF?
WTFs. We're the STDs.
Bingo. Dirty. All right. We've got a weird one, Bruno. You brought this over. Beer Barrel Bourbon. Tell us about it.
Yep. New Holland Distillery. Beer Barrel Bourbon. Beer Barrel Bourbon.
Now, I looked at this when we got it. They've aged it, matured it, and then they threw it into beer that had been aged in a bourbon barrel.
Not beer. No, it's been a... Okay. There's a lot of ales right now in the craft breweries.
Right.
They're taking the ale and then aging them in bourbon barrels.
Right.
Your bourbon barrel series ales.
Favorite kind of beer.
Yep, they're good. So New Holland got the idea, why don't we take a bourbon and put it in a prior filled beer barrel?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's
they've
not
actually had a barrel that has had
like you
beer
said something
in it.
else, but then you thought you said something but didn't.
I'm just going to nod. That's it. I'm not going to pick a fight. But that's the basic deal, is they've taken a barrel and they've done some extra maturation of the whiskey in a barrel that had held beer prior.
Yes.
All right. So the idea is we should get a hint of some kind of beer.
Ale, yeah.
Now everybody, or maybe not everybody, whiskey is just like distilled beer. I mean, the first part is a malting that they would get the beer from, and then you distill that down to its pure alcohol.
By the way, Bart's making me wear the hat.
He had to wear it, especially with his Green Lantern shirt.
I actually quit giving in to peer pressure when I was like 41, but I gave in today.
When you were 41, that's good. That was a good stand to make at 41. Drink it. He was doing beer stands in his late 30s.
On the nose, I can definitely get the ale. I get the scent of beer with it. It's odd coming off of a bourbon.
My nose, I just get a spicy. I get a little bit of hint of the alcohol, and I get some spice.
I get vanilla and just a slight hint of acetone on the nose, which is common with bourbons.
You get the acetone. Now, where I get the beer was on that first tasting. This is neat. Kind of the tail end of it, I get a hint of the beer. So when it starts off, I do get a little bit of a vanilla note.
Yep, a creamy. I've got it's creamy smooth. The ale, a little bit of vanilla. It's very enjoyable neat. So. And I add water to it, just a splash of water to mine. I like to, and I'm going to do that.
It is interesting. I mean, I will tell you this. It surprised me. I wasn't sure what I was going to be getting. And I do pick up beer-type notes that are in there in the finish.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Something that we haven't gotten from just a bourbon or a whiskey before. We've had the ales that are aged, and you get the bourbon hints to those. But now we've got a bourbon with an ale.
40% ABV, Holland, Michigan. It still holds on to some of that sweetness that a bourbon gives you, too.
Yep. The water does take a little bit of the harshness out, even though neat, it's not that harsh. But it does smooth it out, to me, even just a little bit more.
I get cinnamon on the nose after adding in some water. I don't get any of that harsher turpentine or acetone.
The aging in the beer barrels, definitely gives this a different taste for bourbons. I would compare it to like when you drink Scotch and then you try a sherry Scotch that's been in a sherry cask. Not the same taste characteristics, but the differences that you get when you taste a bourbon and then you move to this that's been in an ale or a beer barrel, is moving the taste over into a different category.
One request: give this to me at 46% ABV.
A little bit stronger.
Yeah, to me it's too watered down. So if I had it at a 46% ABV, assuming that worked when it was when it was being bottled, that's where I would have preferred it. And by the way, I'm digging the hat. Covers your ears nicely. My malt mark is an 85, 86. Sorry. It's a little too watered down for me. I love the uniqueness of it. It does come across as a unique bourbon. Bump up that ABV, and I don't know where it would go. So I could definitely get in. I was thinking with my imagination is with a high ABV, it might have gotten me up into the 88s, 89s.
I started with an 86 and then sitting here just now, I just marked it up one more to an 87. It's good.
Okay.
I like it.
It is good. It's
different.
unique. It's different for bourbons. Whiskey tasting fellas on a Whiskey Wednesday.
Cilantro.
Dummies.
Dummies.